Buenas tardes, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. In our continued attempt to bring you every team from the 1906 Copa Mundial, we have a match from day 2 of the group stage. Scotland, represented here by the Unicorns in Scottish Gaelic, Aon-adharcaich, is visiting the Tricolores de México. Of course, they aren't in the same stadium for the entire tournament, so it's an open question exactly how different these things were going to be. You know what I mean? But this ought to be a heck of a match. If you watched the stream on Friday, you know that we presented the Borinqueños de Puerto Rico versus h-Alba Gymru. And here we've got another Celtic nation team taking on another one of the Independientes, the teams that have their own leagues. The Tricolores, of course, many of these guys are coming out of the Liga Nacional Mexicana, another of the main leagues in the current baseball world, a league where pitchers can hit, interestingly enough. And you've got plenty of those dudes up and down this lineup, notably Hector Sanchez, who actually just got traded from the team he's been working with this entire time and where he has won multiple championships and 2 Ilustrísimo awards. He, a few days ago, ended up going to the Colibris de Nuevo Laredo, but he used to be on the Galanes de Culiacán. And Miguel Villanueva, who has won 4 Ilustrísimo awards as a key part of the twice champion Volcanes de Ciudad Mexico. So, over on the Scottish side, there's plenty of talent to be proud of here. Cameron McMillan for the Santos de Adjuntas in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña. Michael Reed for the Frios de Bonito. Ewan McKenzie, honestly, one of the most consistent pitchers of the early 1900s, which is an overused adjective, but he just basically has provided a stability in that rotation that has otherwise been so injury riddled that we're always shocked when they make it to the playoffs. That's what we've got working here. Also, should mention the manager for the Unicorns. I'm going to try to pronounce their name as often as possible, but that's a tough gig for somebody who I'm not very used to a lot of those noises being in close proximity to each other, is how I'll put it. Their manager is named Marvin Heritage, which is the kind of fake name that I would come up with under pressure if I were visiting a museum. So let's head down to the field. We're back at Estadio Victor Nieves, the home of the Murciélagos de Camuy. It is cloudy this time around. Attendance a little bit lower than it was for Puerto Rico versus Wales. Wind would appear to be blowing in from center, and this time we are going to be able to bring you a few games from around the league, as on day 2 it looks like everybody's in, settled, they've got their rooms, they know where they're staying, and so there are a number of games going on. The Sultanes are playing Canada. Jamaica and England face each other in a possible upset for the colonized over the colonizer. The Internacional are playing the Dominican Republic. 2 members of the Naguabo starting rotation going head-to-head in that one. And those are the 3 games we have access to right now, so we'll see how those go. In a second here, we're going to have our first pitch, but before that, we need, of course, to know the starting lineups for both teams. So first, for the visiting h-Alba Gymru, leading off and playing shortstop, number 1, William Brown. Batting second and playing first base, number 34, Aiden Anderson. Pardon me, let me take that again. Leading off and playing shortstop from the Carboneros de Coahuila, number 1, William Brown. Batting second and playing first base from the Colibris de Nuevo Laredo, number 34, Aiden Anderson. Batting third and catching from the Frios de Bonito, number 6, Michael Reed. Batting fourth and playing third base from the Capitanes de Mayagüez, number 21, Byron Wood. Batting fifth, the designated hitter from the Santos de Adjuntas, number 32, Cameron McMillan. Batting 6th and playing center field from the Insolentes de Fajardo, number 19, Nathan Daunt. Batting 7th and playing left field from the San Isargos de Morovis, number 16, Ross Jones. Batting 8th and playing right field from the Romeros de Hormigueros, number 3, Danny Johnston. In batting 9th and playing second base from the Navegadores de Nahuabo organization, currently on their Malditos developmental team, number 11, Adam McKinnon. On the other side of things, the starting lineup for the Tricolores de México. Batting leadoff, the designated hitter from the Volcanes de Ciudad Mexico, number 12, Miguel Villanueva. Batting second and playing first base from newly the Colibris de Nuevo Laredo. What a coincidence. Both of the Colibris players here are playing first base and batting second in their lineup. Number 1, Hector Sanchez. Batting third and playing second base from the Macabeos de Trujillo Alto, number 19, Serapion Figueras. Batting fourth and playing left field from the Norteños de Ciudad Juárez, number 6, Sebastián Cárdenas. Batting fifth and playing right field from the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 5, Frank Diablo Rojo del Castillo, formerly of the Jinetes de Jalisco in the Mexican League. Batting sixth and catching from the Chorizos de Toluca, number 49, Balbino Cruz. Batting seventh and playing center field from the Calaveras de Michoacán, number 37, Cid Rosales. Batting eighth and playing third base, also from the Calaveras de Michoacán, number 7, Carlos Estrada. And batting ninth, the shortstop, recently of the Galanes de Ciales, and now of the Amigos de Guanica, number 23, Julio Casado. Pitching tonight for the Tricolores de México, number 4 from the Naguabo Navegadores, Ted Balloon. You know him, you love him, you've seen him pitch plenty. The fronterizo pitcher of his generation. Fastball, curveball, forkball, and changeup. Houston's own Ted Balloon, during the season, had a pretty good run, although unfortunately it didn't work out the way that his team wanted. And here we go with his first pitch against Big Billy Brown. Let's see what's going to happen. It's time for some baseball. As we pan around here, you can see the beautiful white, green, and red uniforms for El Tri. The yellow batting helmets for the Scots. And the Big Billy Brown goes down swinging on the 2-2 pitch, a forkball. 5-pitch at bat to start off the game for Ted Balloon. Here comes Aiden Anderson. 1 out and the bases are empty. A 2-strike count on him, and he gets him freezing. Back-to-back strikeouts. This time on the curveball for Ted Balloon, and he opens the game with 2 quick outs. Can he do it again against Michael Reed? The Scots catcher has been very good in precisely this respect. He's a heavy walker. He tends to like to take his time at the plate. And indeed, he takes Ted to a full count and draws a walk. That payoff pitch, 6-pitch at bat. And Ted now's got to deal with Capitan Byron Wood. Michael Reed sitting on first base with 2 outs. I don't believe him to be a particularly fast runner. And with a catcher like Balbino Cruz behind the plate, I don't think they're going to try to take advantage, but we'll see here. Balloon, of course, propensity for the wild pitch and so on. Byron Wood tries to put the wood on it, but he fails. Casado has it in plenty of time, throws to second, and the walk is all the Unicorns get here in the top of the first. El Tri gets its first chance at pitcher, number 69, Ewan McKenzie, also known as Baron McKenzie. Apparently a bit of noble blood in those in those veins, and certainly a lot of ice. He's pitched his way out of a lot of tough starts in the last few years, serving for a Coamo rotation that has not always rewarded him. He's got, let's see here, a curveball, changeup, sinker, and cutter, so a few pseudo fastballs to put up against Miguel Villanueva, one of the best overall hitters in the Mexican League. Here in the bottom of the first, he takes into a 1-2 count And Villanueva responds with a hit down the line, bouncing foul, perfect arc to be down for extra bases. That is going to be a leadoff double. As he gets in sliding, Johnston can't quite get to it. And Villanueva slides in, already a man behind him for McKenzie as he faces Hector Sanchez. Villanueva, a fast runner, Reed with a decent arm. We'll see if they try to test that matchup early on. This is a hell of a 1-2 punch for the Mexico lineup. Let's see what Sanchez can do. 1-2 count against Sanchez as well. He pops it up foul, and everybody knew it. Reed waiting for it in plenty of time to pull it down. It's out number 1. Here comes Serapion Figueras, the Macabeo, normally second baseman, did quite well over the past 2 years. He used to play for Veracruz in the Mexican leagues. 1-1 count. Figueras lines that one into right center. That'll be an easy score for Villanueva, and the only question is how many extra bases he's going to take. The answer is 2. It's a triple. Done. Completely overmatched on the route. There, it's an RBI 3-bagger for El Tri. And they now lead 1-0 right here in the bottom of the first. Difficult stadium to play in, I'm sure. They're all new to it. And Villanueva and Figueras combine for the early run here. Cardenas comes up next, still a man on third with just 1 out. Cardenas, pretty great season as a rookie for Ciudad Juarez. On the first pitch, bounces that one. They will get the RBI ground out. McKinnon takes it, throws to first, but Figueras scores from third. All really Adam McKinnon could do there, poor guy, was try to get the easy out. You can see he's still wearing his red shoes from his Malditos days. Figueras scores, and El Tri doubles its pleasure, doubles its fun, but most importantly, doubles its lead. They are up ahead 2-0, and here comes Frank de Castillo to try and extend what has been a remarkably quick inning for Baron McKenzie, despite the fact that he's given up 2 runs. 2 outs, bases empty. Against McKenzie, de Castillo has a .231 batting average. 2-1 count. Del Castillo with a line shot into short right center, and he does extend the inning. Nice little hit there, just a single. And we'll see if he's fast enough to merit trying to catch her out. Speaking of catchers, here comes Balbino Cruz, the catcher for Toluca, another great hitter up. First pitch, De Castillo stealing second without a throw. He gets the first stolen base for Mexico in this tournament, as Michael Reed couldn't quite get the ball out of his hand. Balbino Cruz with a man on second in scoring position and 2 outs. 1-1 count. Lifts that one into the air as it goes over left field. It's an easy catch for Ross Jones. He's got it. And Mexico hits Scotland hard right away in the first inning. We're ahead 2-0. Top of the second, Ted Balloon's 17 pitches over that first inning with a walk and 2 strikeouts now faces some tough guys, McMillan, Dunn, and Jones. Not a law firm, just the middle of the lineup for the Aon-adharcaich. McMillan first up, a lot of power in that bat, and he's never faced Ted Balloon, and you know that because he goes down swinging on that wicked fork ball. Ted so far using the fork a little bit more than the change piece. Surprisingly, a 5-pitch strikeout, his third of the night, and he will now face Nathan Dunn. 2-strike count against him. Gets him again. 4th strikeout of the night for Ted Balloon, who will now face Ross Jones, defensive specialist for Morovis. Player they really like. He's been in a lot of games, despite the fact that he can't seem to put bat to ball basically ever. If he could develop a little bit more discipline, he'd be a truly great hitter. 0-1 count. Lifts that one into midair, and it's to Rosales, who's got it in plenty of time to retire the side. Scotland goes down in order. Mexico remains in the lead 2-0, and they've got a chance to pile some more on as Ewan McKenzie comes out, having allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs over 19 pitches. So the one thing you can say about him is he's been quick about it. Sid Rosales comes up to bat. I don't remember him being a particularly distinguished hitter because he's not, or at least he hasn't been since 1904, it looks like. More of a defensive guy, but certainly the kind of veteran that you would put in here as he grounds out to short. Plenty of time for Brown to throw over to first, and that is out number 1. A sinker. Hit not nearly well enough. Next up, it's Carlos Estrada, also from the Calaveras. Also, I have to imagine, oh wow, a real offensive standout in his first season, despite playing a lot of games. Much better than I would have expected from him. One out on the base is empty. Let's see what he brings to the table. Another foul pop-up. On the 2-strike pitch, Reed has it in plenty of time on the sinker, which is working very well for McKenzie. He should stick with that. And here comes Casado, who was traded, according to this, I believe 6 days ago. 2 outs and the base is empty. McKenzie trying to get him to nibble, and it doesn't work. That sinker is ball 4. McKenzie issues his first walk of the game, and he is aboard. Casado, let's see, a fast runner perhaps? No, not really. Very much a fielder in stature. Villanueva comes up. He's already got a double on the day. Let's see if he's interested in adding to that incipient cycle with a man on first and 2 outs. 1-1 count against Villanueva. Hard hit, his second of the night, and it's over the right fielder's head there. Johnston can't quite get to it. That's going to be... oh, my Lord, what a throw. Johnston to the relay, and Casado is out at home to end the second inning. Villanueva's double ends up costing them. If they had held a little bit, if Marvin Heritage holds his runners, perhaps we've got something cooking here. But as it is, Scotland remains in the lead 2-0. You hate to see that, but what a throw from Danny Johnston to set that up. McKinnon had plenty of time to make the throw at home, and Casado was out by a mile. Beautiful defensive effort as we head to the top of the third. Let's see if that powers up the Unicorns a little bit. Danny Johnston, the hero of the hour, comes up for his first at-bat against Ted Balloon. 27 pitches, 2 innings, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. Johnston going after the first pitch. Swings on that, lifts it over left field. Should be an easy enough catch for Cardenas, and he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 out. As Balloon now faces his spring teammate, Adam McKinnon. Adam McKinnon, developing player for the Navegadores, did a lot better in his 3rd year in the organization, pushing basically all of his metrics over 100 ticks up. Slated to be a future second baseman for the ball club. He's got just 2 more years left of developmental time down there. Who knows where he'll be. 2 strikes on him, and he gets him. 5th strikeout on the fastball, this time for Ted Balloon, who will now face Big Billy Brown for the 2nd time. He couldn't make anything happen last time. Here, on the 1-1 count, Brown chops it right back to Ted. He's got it. Throws, and he's out by a couple steps there. Scotland goes down in order once again. El Tri remains ahead 2-0. And in the bottom of the 3rd, as night falls even earlier than it did during the Puerto Rico-Wales game, it is now 4:44 p.m. Once again, I can tell you, being from this island, it never gets dark this early. McKenzie, with 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, and 1 walk, will face Hector Sanchez, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Sanchez here, coming from the left side, switch hitter, takes it to a full count, bangs that one just casually, sends it into right field, and poor Johnston's been run all over the place out there. It's a single, and here comes Serapion Figueras with his 1-1 line. An 8-pitch at bat. McKenzie now at 39 pitches, having allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, and a walk, and being saved from a tough inning last time by that great throw from right field. First pitch here. Villanueva, Sanchez, wrong, excellent hitter, steals second, and once again, Reed just cannot get the ball out of his hand. Let's see what Figueras can do with a man in scoring position. We've already seen he's capable. You're on the 2-1 count. Oh, it's caught! And somehow he is safe. Anderson, not a natural first baseman. takes way too long to get rid of that ball, and Figueras, with a full head of steam, somehow manages to get there ahead of him. McKenzie, even though he ran over to cover in time, couldn't receive the throw. And there are runners on the corners with no outs for Sebastián Cárdenas. 6th hit of the game already for Mexico here in the bottom of the third. Figueras breaks for second, no throw. So there are 3 stolen bases now, all of them without contesting from Reed. Guess he's not getting a good read on their running. 2-2 count. Cardenas hits that one to second. McKinnon once again has to go for the easy out at first. Sanchez scores. Figueras to third. And Mexico is now ahead 3-0. Poor Adam McKinnon. Tough choice to make there, but he doesn't have the arm strength to throw home. That's why he's at second base and not third. Here comes Frank de Castillo. He's got a hit in this game with an out and a man on third. What's he going to do? 2-2 count. Lifts it into left field. Long run for Jones, but he's got it, and it'll be a sac fly as Figueras able to tag up at third. Mexico ahead 4-0 now. Frank de Castillo gets the job done. Ross Jones makes the catch, but he can't throw home in time. So Mexico once again doubles their lead here in the bottom of the third. And McKenzie now at 55 pitches gets to face Balbino Cruz, who is 0 for 1. 2 outs, bases empty. Cruz hits that one into left center. Hard crack of the bat there. And the inning will continue. A 2-out single. Here comes Cid Rosales, who's 0 for 1. Last time he chopped to short. Let's see if he can do a little bit better with a man on first and 2 outs. Takes a full count and knocks it to McKinnon at second, who retires him at first. But a little bit too late there. Another 3 hits, another 2 runs, and Mexico now on top 4-0 as we are through the top third of the game. Let's see here. We've got a little time to check out the other games going on. In the European Regional against Dominican Republic match, Jan Paikos is through 3 1/3 innings against the Quisqueyanos. He's given up 1 hit and has struck out 2, no runs. He faces Fermin Jimenez, who's already gotten a hit off of him. He's got 1 out, and the base is empty in the bottom of the 4th. In the bottom of the 3rd, Sultanes versus Canada. Both teams have a hit. Canada's also committed an error. We're in the bottom of the 3rd, and noted Maldito de Naguabo Ismail Faraj is currently sitting on 2 innings and 1 strikeout, having allowed just a hit. He faces Canadian catcher Brian Drover, who had a hell of a rookie season for Ciales. In the bottom of the 3rd, Latif Kapkin, who I believe is still in the San Germán organization, lined out to end the top of the inning. And England, the Roses, are currently beating Jamaica. Currently, it's the bottom of the 3rd, and Charles Wilson, who's 1-1 with a ribby, is facing, Charles Wilson from the Tortugas de Culebra, 1-1 with an RBI, is facing noted Navegador pitcher Everton Stack, who has definitely lost a step, is something we can say at this point. Everton Stack, 2 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Usually he should be dominating by now, and certainly Jamaica is asking all the right questions. They've got 4 hits to England's 2, but I think those 2 walks from Everton are really hurting them. They're currently on a rain delay as Rob Johns, also known as, I believe, Speed Bump, just popped up. And guess what? There is at least 1 Navegador starting in every game of this rotation, because here's Ted Balloon for El Tri in the top of the 4th. 34 pitches, 3 innings, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts, and he'll face Anderson, Reed, and Wood. Anderson's 0 for 1, and here on the 1-0 count. Long fly ball into right center, off the wall. That'll be down. It'll be the first base hit of the game. It's an 8, and Anderson leadoff triple. Balloon, if he thought he was going to get a no-hitter today, that is an issue. He's going to have to tool down and deal with Reed, Wood, and McMillan And he is by no means out of the woods yet. He's got to prevent the usual fall apart that happens at this point in a Ted Balloon game. He faces Michael Reed, who drew a walk off of him last time. Here, Reed on the first pitch knocks it to first base. It'll be an RBI ground out. Sanchez has it. And interestingly, they did not send the runner home. I thought I saw him start for home. Perhaps that was a fake out. Perhaps they wanted to see what they would do in that situation. Maybe score a run and get a guy on. But no, Anderson sticks at third. He may end up regretting that choice. Here comes Byron Wood, who's 0 for 1. 2-2 count. Wood chops that to short. Another easy ground out. Casado has it this time. And he throws him out at first. Julio Casado, whose name translates to Julius Married. Ironically, he's not. And here comes Cam McMillan. Now, he could be some real trouble. I don't know if he's ever faced Ted before. Well, he couldn't have. He struck out back in the second inning, and he's never faced Ted, so this ought to be interesting. He takes him to a full count, and then gets frozen out by a fastball right down the middle. Anderson, after that leadoff triple, is going to be mad. He didn't try to run on either one of those groundouts, as he is stuck at third. Ted Balloon has pitched 4 scoreless here to open the first game of Mexico's 1906 Copa Mundial. We're into the bottom of the fourth, where Ewan McKenzie will face Estrada, Casado, and Villanueva. Estrada 0 for 1 on the day. McKenzie 4 earned runs and 7 hits and a walk over 62 pitches in 3 innings. Looks like he's about to give up walk number 2. Estrada will be aboard after that one. Here comes Julio Casado. He drew a walk last time. Here on the 1-0 count, goes for the sac bunt, and it's successful. Casado gets Estrada over to second and into scoring position, and now it's up to Miguel Villanueva to try and get him home. He's already got 2 doubles in this game. Here on the full count, first out he's going to make, I think. He throws to third, and he's out by a couple of steps. Good throw from Byron Wood, making it across the hallway just in time. Not a particularly difficult play, unless, of course, you've got a runner of Villanueva's caliber. And here comes Hector Sanchez. He's 1 for 2 on the day. What's he going to do? 2 outs, man on second. 1-2 count. He strikes out. First strikeout for the Baron. And we are through 4. Mexico gets just a walk here in the bottom of the inning. And we go into the 5th. Still ahead 4-0. And Ted still in great spirits. 51 pitches in. 4 innings, 6 strikeouts and a walk. Faces Nathan Dunn, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Dunn on the 2-1 count. Knocks it past him to short. Casado in plenty of time to get it to first. And Dunn is a quick ground out. Bases remain empty for Ross Jones, who's 0 for 1. He's never gotten a hit off of Ted Balloon in 6 appearances against him. Will this break the cycle? 1 out, bases empty. He lined out to center field, and here he strikes out. Balloon, strikeout number 7 on the 2-2 curveball there. And he'll face Danny Johnston, who's 0 for 1. Balloon now crossing 60 pitches. Johnston flew out to left in the 3rd inning. And here he's caught frozen. Finally, we get that strikeout on the changeup. Scotland once again going down without much of a fight. And I do believe, and we will check, but I believe that is strikeout number 8 for Ted Balloon through 5. Ewan McKenzie takes back over in the bottom half of the frame against Figueras, Cárdenas, and Del Castillo. McKenzie's got 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 4 earned runs, and 7 innings. Over 78 pitches, and I said 7 innings. 7 hits over 4 innings and 78 pitches. Figueras coming in. He's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, a ribby, everything. And finally, McKenzie's able to get the better of him as he pops him up over Adam McKinnon at second. He's got it in plenty of time. That's out number 1. The bases remain empty for Sebastián Cárdenas, who's 0 for 2 with 2 ribbies. 1-1 count. on him. Cardenas, lightning shot, but right on the ground. Anderson this time, no mistakes. Grabs it, takes over, comes to first himself, and that is out number 2. That sinker is still working very well for Mackenzie if he can locate it. Here comes the Castillo, 1 for 1, plus a sac fly that brought in a run. That's why his average is currently 1,000, but his on-base percentage is currently 500. Funny how that works, huh? And there he improves both, I think. Or at the very least, they don't get any worse. Franklin Castillo puts up a nice little blooper into center field and extends the inning. 2 outs and a man on first for Balbino Cruz, who's 1 for 2. First pitch. There goes Reed. He's going to try to stop De Castillo stealing. Finally gets the ball out, and that's somehow worse. Reed throws that ball away. De Castillo able to make it to third, as thankfully the shortstop was backing up the play, but couldn't pick it up in time. De Castillo makes it 90 feet away. Can Cruz get him the rest of the way home? 2-1 count. He does. Cruz punches that one into right field. Johnston overruns it, and De Castillo scores 1. The score will now be 5-0. Johnston on that sprint tried to dive for it and got over him and ran all the way to the wall. That's a bouncy grass out there. Here comes Sid Rosales, who's over 2 on the day. Man on first and 2 outs. Mexico on 9 hits and 5 runs so far. Rosales hits that one right to Anderson. Couldn't quite get it past him. He takes it himself, and Rosales is out. We are through 5. Mexico ahead 5-0 as we head into the 6th. If you're Ted Balloon, you're sitting pretty. You don't usually get this stress-free a start from your lineup. But here, 65 pitches over 5 innings, a hit, a walk, 8 strikeouts, and he's facing McKinnon to open up this frame. McKinnon is 0 for 1 on the day. He lifts that one into right field. Easy catch there for De Castillo. He gets that play involved only Naguabo guys. Here comes William Brown. He's 0 for 2. Man on nowhere, actually. Isn't that a Denzel Washington movie? Base is empty and 1 out. 0-1 count for William Brown. Knocks that one not quite past Estrada at third. He throws to Sanchez, and that's out number 2. A good attempt to put that forkball in play, but Estrada's defense saves it there. And here comes Aiden Anderson, who's actually redeemed himself quite a bit for that earlier bungle at first. 2 outs and the base is empty. He tripled off of Balloon. He's been doing his best. Hell, he's responsible for the only hit they've gotten off of Ted. But here, he gets retired at third base very easily. Another clean inning by Ted Balloon here, and we're through 5.5. El Tri gets another chance to respond. Mackenzie had 93 pitches over 5. 9 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Carlos Estrada comes up. He's 0 for 1. Plus a walk. Here on the 1-2 count. Another one up the middle, and that's 10 hits for the Tricolores. A single on a cutter. He'll be on base to lead off the inning, and here comes Julio Casado, who has been on base every time, apparently. Drawn 2 walks? No, a walk and a sac hit. That's right. Guessing he goes for the bunt again on the 1-2 count. No! They tried to let him swing, and he strikes out. Mackenzie's second strikeout of the night against the literal number 9 hitter, but it counts the same. And here comes Villanueva. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Full count against him. What a play! William Brown with a lunge into the air to spear it. Great catch right there to save an out and possibly an extra base hit. Hector Sanchez comes up next. The newly minted Colibri de Nuevo Laredo. Seriously, a couple weeks maybe. Actually, about 3 weeks if I'm being exact. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Man on first and 2 outs. He struck out last time. This time he sends it into center field. Great catch. Rolling and coming down from Nathan Dunn. He goes arse over head out there to get that out. Beautifully done. Look at that play, and the Tricolores are retired here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll have another check on how things are going around the rest of the league. In the top of the 7th, the Internacional are ahead 2-1 in the top of the 7th against Tomas Perez, who is through 6 2/3 innings, having allowed both of those earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He currently faces Madeira and Aloysiu Piro, currently of Lewiston. And let's see here, at least one of those runs is because of Russian Jake Getman, who hit what may be the first home run in Copa Mundial history. How appropriate. The current Bucherones a la Carga champion getting to do that. In the top of the 6th, Canada has taken a lead against the Sultanes, 1-0. Omar Diarra just grounded into a fielder's choice, and I'm not sure who's on base, but Latif Kapkan from San German is up facing Murdoch Regenbald. And if you're wondering what the Murdoch mystery is today, he is through 5 1/3 innings with a walk and a strikeout. 1 out in the top of the 6th. In the bottom of the 5th, Everton Stack has not allowed any further runs. He's through 4 2/3, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Nobody's gotten another hit. Dermot Mount just flew out to make it the 2nd out, and he's got 2 strikes on Corky Tony Crampton of Fajardo. Jamaica's still down 2-1. Here in the top of the 7th, Ted Balloon, 8 strikeouts and a walk, plus a hit over 6 innings and a very nice number of pitches. Will face Reed, Wood, and McMillan. Reed 0-1 plus a walk. Gotta start the hitting here if he wants to do anything, and that is not the way to do it. Easy ground ball there. Hector Sanchez had no trouble at all, and it's out number 1. A fastball right down the middle. Could not put the right kind of wood on there. Here comes, speaking of, Byron Wood. He's over 2. Grounded out to short, back in the 4th, and here on the 2-strike pitch, he actually gets the 2nd hit of the game off of Ted. A base hit into short center that they were not ready for. And here comes Cam McMillan to try and make things interesting. He's over 2 as well. Ted with a man on and 1 out. Needs to still control the usual spiral, and it looks like he will. Ted runs over to first to cover, but that's a can of corn. Plenty of time for Figueras to get it. That's out number 2. Man still at first for Nathan Dunn, who is also over 2 with a strikeout. 1-2 count. Dunn chops that one. They all make contact this inning, but it doesn't work for them. Estrada throws to second this time, and Scotland unable to get anything going here in the top of the 7th. We head into the bottom. Mexico's still ahead 5-0, and it'll be Figueras, Cardenas, and Del Castillo against McKenzie. McKenzie threw 6 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 108 pitches. Figueras 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Now the rain begins to fall, of course. This could make things interesting here. Especially Figueras there hits to McKinnon. McKinnon has plenty of time to make the throw. That's out number 1. Cardenas 0 for 3, but 2 runs batted in thanks to those RBI groundouts that came in clutch on the 2-2 count. Hits that one to third base. Easy throw for Wood. And they've got him too. McKenzie beginning to grow a little into his role as this game goes on. He will now face Del Castillo, who so far has 2 hits in this ballgame, has driven in a run with a sac fly, and has generally been pretty good for extending an inning. Can he do it again here? The 1-2 count. Del Castillo bouncer up the infield. Brown has it and eats it. He can't make it happen, and for the 3rd time today, Del Castillo comes up in a 2-out situation, and for the 3rd time today, he's on base. Perfect record there. He now has a chance to steal second, and here comes Balbino Cruz. 2 hits of his own today, and the run batted in. First pitch, Reed tries to stop Del Castillo once again, and no way. Del Castillo steals his 3rd base of the tourney. He may be in the lead after all is said and done. Man on second with 2 outs for Balbino Cruz. The 1-0 pitch launches it into center field. That should be easy catch there for Dunn, and he's got it. Speaking of done, that's what the inning is. They strain the runner, and we are through 7. Mexico remains ahead 5-0. We're in the top of the 8th. Jones, Johnston, and McKinnon facing Ted Balloon, who's through 7 innings of 81 pitch, 2 hit, 1 walk, 8 strikeout ball. Jones is 0 for 2. Can he do any better? Launches that into center field. Rosales with plenty of time to get in underneath it. And he's got it. Ross Jones remains hitless off of Ted Balloon here. Johnston comes up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. A 1-1 count for him. Lifted into the infield on the dirt. And it's Sanchez who grabs that one. Then Ted Balloon, for some reason, runs to cover first after the out was already made. Do not understand it at all. Here comes Adam McKinnon. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Hits that one. Adam McKinnon gets a hit off of his own team's number 1. Base hit to right, and you can imagine them jawing a little bit at each other. McKinnon's got the wheels to try and make it to second here. I wonder what's going to happen. This could be a very interesting plate appearance for William Brown. Or, of course, it could end in the 9th strikeout of the night for Ted Balloon. Scotland does not get anything beyond that base hit in the top of the 8th. Mexico remains severely in the lead as Baron McKenzie takes over for what will likely be his last pitches in this game. 7 innings, 11 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of 5.14, 122 pitches, if I didn't mention that already, which I may have. Rosales, Estrada, and Casado, the bottom of the lineup coming up. Rosales 0 for 3 on the day, including, I believe, a strikeout. Here he chops it to short. Brown has it plenty of time. It's an easy ground out, and he's gone. Here comes Carlos Estrada. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He already drew a walk, and this time he does not. He lances one into right field, but Danny Johnston, for yet another great play, just like that throw he made all the way back to stop Casado from scoring. Perfect positioning there, making the grab. 2 outs, bases empty for Julio Casado, 0 for 1 on the day. You can see he's not in a good mood now. 1-0 count here. Lifts that one into center field, done. Walking underneath it, but he's got plenty of time. Thought he'd have to hurry over like Johnston did, but no. Mexico goes down easily in the bottom of the 8th. We'll take one last look around the rest of the Copa, see if there's any other games going on. In the bottom of the 7th, Jamaica has added 2 hits, but has not managed to score. England has added 1, and the same. We're in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. The bases are empty for Ewan Drummond, a rookie for Maturin in the Venezuelan leagues. He did okay there. He's facing Everton Stack, who is through 6 1/3 innings, the same 2 earned runs, the same 2 walks, 1 more strikeout as Connor McDonald just flew out for England. In the bottom of the 9th, the Dominicans are getting their last go-arounds against Jan Picos, who is through 8 innings with an earned run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Currently, it's 0 for 2 Guillermo Garcia, Cameron McMillan's teammate on the Santos de Juntas, at the plate. If I didn't mention it, the Internacionales are still up 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th. No outs and the bases empty, though, so things could still take a turn. Canada still up 1-0 on the Sultanes in the top of the 8th. Murdoch Regenbald, 7 2/3 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Latif Kapkin at the plate. How is he always involved here? Omar Diarra just hit a single. He is on first with 2 outs. So, that's the check around of the league, and here we go in the top of the 9th. Ted Balloon against Anderson, Reed, and Wood. Balloon, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits, 8 innings, 92 pitches. Anderson's 1 for 3 on the day. The Unicorns better get something going in this game if they want to make it interesting, let alone win it. Easy shot to short. Casado throws it over to Sanchez, and that's out number 1. In the second, for the second batter of the inning, Michael Reed comes up 0 for 2 on the day. Base is still empty for him. It's a 1-1 count. Reed, second verse, same as the first. Both shots to short. Casado has it, throws to first, and that's out number 2. Balloon here with a chance at, I believe, the first. This might be the first shutout of the Copa Mundial season. I'm not entirely sure. He faces Byron Wood, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Byron Wood takes him to a full count. Beautiful work by the Mayagüez third baseman, or actually I think he plays second base for Mayagüez. He draws a walk to extend the inning, and here comes Cameron McMillan. Can he extend the inning, or even better, give the Unicorns some runs? 1-2 count. Hits that one hard, hits that one deep, and not quite hard enough. Frank Del Castillo with an amazing catch in right field to end the game and preserve the shutout. Ted Balloon allows just 3 hits and strikes out 9 on the way to a wonderful first game for the Tricolores de México here in the Copa Mundial. Beautiful work from the fronterizo pitcher as this game ends 5-0. Mexico, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Scotland, the Aon-adharcaich, with 3 hits and 1. And no runs, of course. Cisco Cabrera, whose name I do not remember as an entity that exists in the world outside of the Copa Mundial, tells us that Ted is good at getting out of jams, which is how you know he hasn't watched a whole lot of Naguabo games. Multi-hit games up and down the Mexico lineup. Miguel Villanueva, dear Lord, with 2 for 4. Serapion Figueras, 2 for 4. And Frank Del Castillo, 3 for 3. Of course, though, the credit has to go. And Frank Del Castillo, it should be mentioned, also 3 stolen bases during the game. Ted Balloon, though, gets the deserved credit. A 9 strikeout shutout to open the Copa Mundial is exactly what you want out of your number 1 pitcher. So if Scotland wants to say Alba Gubra, they're going to have to say it against the rest of their group, because this game is over. We're going to try to bring you Ireland versus Canada as soon as possible. It was the requested matchup by, of course, our artistic director and co-host, the redoubtable Louisa. And frankly, we were going to offer our patrons the chance to kind of pick which matchups we would play. We might have to restrict that a little bit because each time we knock 2 teams out, obviously it becomes harder to pick from the remaining teams which matchups we haven't done before. But we might let them choose which matchup we get next week on the stream. Until then, this as always has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.